What's up, Mech fans, and welcome back to the channel. So once again, Bandai have opened the floodgates and announced a bunch of new Gunpla that inevitably we are all going to spend our money on, and today I'm going to be going over them, breaking down the announcements and talking about which ones I'm most excited for. Before we dive into it though, please do leave a like on this video and subscribe if you're a fan of Mecha anime content. I want to see plenty more videos like this in the future. Also, head on down to the comment section below if you've already seen these announcements, then let me know which one you are most excited for. But if this is your first time hearing about them and seeing them after you've seen the announcements we're going to talk about, then go down to the comments and let me know which you are looking forward to. Without further ado though, let us dive into all of these kits. So the majority of them, I want to say like half, are GQuuuuuuX related kits, but there are some other ones in here that also look really cool. And I think in terms of a slate of item reveals that Bandai have done, this is definitely one of the better ones, at least in terms of like a smaller amount. But we'll actually start off with something that's not Gundam, but is actually from Macross. This is the new high-grade 1/100 scale VF31J Siegfried piloted by Hayate Immelman. Now recently I have been playing the Macross shooting insight game, which I did really enjoy. I've got a review up on the channel if you guys want to check it out. But Hayate, in terms of the pilots, was my personal favourite in terms of the gameplay of his particular fighter. So this one looks great. I mean, like, I enjoyed the look of his ship in the game as well, but this thing looks fantastic. Obviously, this is pre-rendered CG stuff, so it's not going to look quite as pristine as this when the actual kit comes out, but I would say generally, for the most part, what you see from these CG renders is very close to what you actually get when you get the kits themselves. One thing that is really notable about this is that we've kind of got dual molded colored parts just straight up on the runners, but I'm glad that they're going this route. Generally, Bandai doing a really good job when it comes to color separation and part separation nowadays, and this is another step in the right direction. So this thing looks fantastic, and I'll likely pick it up whenever it does launch. Now moving on to some actual Gundam stuff, and first up we have the high-grade Galluss J, which is actually from Double Zeta, which we don't really see a whole lot of that stuff. I like it when Bandai just randomly come out with like kits that they've never done before from, you know, a show that came out almost 40 years ago. I just think that's just great, and it shows that they're, you know, they're showing love to some of these kits and suits that people want. You know, it's not just, oh, we're just going to make stuff from the newest thing. No, we're going to go back and kind of bring some random kit in, which I think is always really cool. This one looks great. I've not seen Double Zeta, so I don't really know the context of this suit, but to me this looks like the Zaku variation of that series. You can correct me down in the comment section below if I'm wrong there, but looking at it, yeah, it's very much a Zaku inspired kit. I mean, Double Zeta fans getting some representation, which is awesome. Now these next two, I think these were kind of inevitable at some point because they are definitely more popular Gundam series, and they're both kind of more on the premium side, I guess, in terms of grades. We do have the real grade Wing Gundam Zero. Now, we've already had the real grade Wing Gundam, we've had the real grade Wing Gundam Zero Endless Waltz, but we've never had the real grade Wing Gundam Zero from the series itself. I feel like this one, you know, kind of makes sense to bring out 30th anniversary of Wing Gundam and all that. I'm sure we'll get some other Wing Gundam stuff later in the year, but for now we've got this, and yeah, like, I want to get like a more standard you know, TV version of the Wing Gundam. I'd definitely like to get the Endless Waltz version because I think that looks so cool with its, you know, feather wings and all that. It's such a great design. One of my probably all-time favorite Gundam designs, to be honest. Next up is one that's really caught my eye, and honestly, I wasn't really expecting this one as soon as we're getting it, and that is the Master Grade SD Gundam Aerial. Now, I know they've started doing a lot of these Master Grade SDs, and from what I've heard, they're fantastic. What have we got so far? We've got the Master Grade SD Freedom, I think, or Strike Freedom. I think it's the Freedom. It's one of the Freedom Gundams. I think it's just the standard Freedom Gundam. Honestly, I cannot remember. We've also got the Master Grade SD Barbatos as well. And then most recently, they've released the Wing Gundam Zero Endless Waltz, which again, looks fantastic. But yeah, now we've got an aerial, which is kind of surprising. Like, have we not got a Master Grade SD RX-78-2 yet? It just seems bizarre we're getting like all these ones before the OG Gundam. That would make more sense to do as like the first one, but I'm really surprised they haven't done it yet. Which from Mercury was very popular. It does kind of make sense to do something like this. Based on everything I've heard about the Master Grade SD kits, they're kind of gone 3 for 3. Every single one of them, by the sounds of it, has been absolutely phenomenal. So this will probably be no exception to that. Like, this thing looks just really, really cool, using the clear parts for the eyes. I mean, I've already got the standard SD aerial, and it looks good, but I'm starting to get issues with those EX ones. The stickers are such a pain. So hopefully this one has less stickers. I mean, I look at it, you know, for the most part, I don't really see anywhere where there would be stickers. Now though, the time has come to move on to the GQuuuuuuX kits, and some of these we've already seen. They did show off the figurized standard Hayate and Nyan, which we've already seen, like we saw them quite a while ago, so those aren't actually new. They've also shown off again the red Gundam. This thing looks fantastic. I mean, we'd already seen images and announcement of it anyway, but we're seeing more images of it now, and this thing looks phenomenal. I am very excited. I did like a whole separate short talking about this when it was announced, but just looking at this thing here, yeah, like this is probably my most anticipated upcoming kit, and even with some of the really cool announcements from today, like it's still not beaten out. There are a couple though that do look fantastic, and they're definitely contenders for most anticipated. But yeah, that red Gundam still looks fantastic. I love the shield on it as well, like the Xeon logo that's kind of scratched off. But in terms of the two new kits that we have that we've never seen before, we do have the police Zaku, which I expected would be a like fairly early release. It was the only other suit that was shown off in the original trailer, aside from obviously the GQuuuuuuX itself. We did see this police Zaku, and we have seen it in every trailer since, so it's probably like a first 2-episode kind of thing. As expected, it looks great. Like, yeah, this kind of shows like what the high-grade Zakus are going to look like in terms of GQuuuuuuX. What can I say? Like, all these kits are looking so good so far, and this one is no exception. Regardless of whether you like the design or not, the actual kit itself looks well made, and it just looks really good. So definitely looking forward to that one. But I think this next one is definitely one of the ones that's a contender for most anticipated kit, and that is the high-grade light type gun cannon, which for those that don't know, essentially this light type gun cannon, which is, you know, the gun cannon, but it's only got one cannon rather than two. It is kind of the replacement of the GM within this version of Universal Sentry, because of course the Gundam gets stolen, they can't kind of reverse engineer and mass produce that into the GM, so they take the gun cannon and kind of reverse engineer, mass produce it as that, and then we have the light type gun cannon. But this thing looks fantastic. The angles, the overall design. I mean, what can I say? Like, you look at this, I could just throw this thing up on screen and just bask in his glory. This thing looks phenomenal. It's a great design, but the kit itself looks awesome. And like I said, probably my second most anticipated kit now, just behind the red Gundam. Both of these, they look fantastic. I mean, I'm just looking at them. I'm so excited for some of these kits to launch. I'm not expecting them for a while though. I think we're kind of looking at a end of summertime at least for these launches. In fact, I think some of them aren't actually launching in Japan until, you know, like June, July time. Either way though, these things look fantastic. We've also got another thing to show off, and that is like a sticker set stuff for the action bases. One of Amate, you've got one of Shuji, you've got one of Nyan. Then you actually have one of Char as well. So for those that I guess want to customize their action base 7 it is in particular with Char, which, you know, can apply to like the red Gundam, for example. It can apply to probably some of the stuff from GQuuuuuuX, but it can also apply to, you know, your original Char Zaku, Char's Gelgu, the Zegok, or even if you got like a Char figure that you want to, you know, kind of put on this base, whatever it may be, you've essentially got a Char base now that you can do, which is very, very cool, and I think it's going to be really good for some people. There we have it though, that about wraps up everything we have to talk about concerning these new Gunpla reveals. Before I get out of here, please do leave a like on this video and subscribe if you're a fan of mecha anime content. I want to see plenty more videos like this in the future. Also, like I said at the start of this video, head on down to the comment section below. Let me know what you're most excited for in terms of these new reveals. For me, it's these new GQuuuuuuX kits. I mean, the red Gundam, which was already revealed, and also that light gun cannon as well. I'm also really interested in that master grade SD Gundam aerial though. You guys know I'm a big fan of which from Mercury, so I'll be very interested to see how that comes out. And based on how all the other master grade SDs have come out so far, this one will probably be no exception to being in that fantastic tier of Gunpla. Thank you once again for tuning into Mecha Chat today, and I'll see you guys next time.